Alright, everyone. Quick introduction. My name is Mark, and I'm a Sabres fan, but that's not only what this channel is going to be about, but my main focus, I am a very big Sabres fan. As you can tell, there's some Sabres pictures on the wall here, but that's not what I'm looking for. First, I want to apologize for the low quality of this video, and for it shaking. It is on a webcam laptop, and this thing likes to shake a little bit. See if I can stop that. Stop. No, it's going to happen. So I apologize for that. It's going to happen. Anyways, I've been I guess you'd call it like not necessarily a student of the game, but a student of the team. I'm very knowledgeable about the team and pretty much the league in general. Pretty much since post-lockout, I have really taken a lot of interest in hockey, especially in the Buffalo Sabres. Obviously, being from Buffalo, my parents grew up sports fans. I'm around a lot of Sabres fans. So, with that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and give you my take on what's going on next week and give you some picks just by looking at the schedule. But first, let me talk about so far this season up to now. There's been 12 games now, and they have 3 wins. If I can recall them right, we had Atlanta, New Jersey. I'm missing somebody. Who am I missing? The Senators. Opening night we won. We beat the Senators, the Devils, and Atlanta. That's it. Considering the fact that we've played the Rangers, the Devils twice now, the Canadiens, the Thrashers twice, the Sens again, we should have at least 8 wins by now. We should have 7 or 8 wins. Teams that just haven't been impressive this year. It boggles the mind. The Sabres can't score. They don't know how to score. I mean, I watched the game versus Dallas, which occurred tonight, and they ended up getting shut out 4-0. But I mean, Dallas owned the power play. They got a shorty. The Sabres could not kill a penalty. They couldn't capitalize on a power play. They let Dallas score a shorthanded goal, just a fat giveaway in the neutral zone, and absolutely no protection came back. I think one defenseman stayed, and the other one was hurrying down the wing, probably Myers. But no, Myers, that's a different story. He's been pretty bad looking this year. But so far, the Sabres have not been able to score. Not many pluses on the team this year. Derek Roy could be a plus. Miller, obviously. Luke Adams looked pretty good in his 2-game stint so far. He's probably going to be this year's yo-yo, much last year like Mark Minkari was. And what I mean by yo-yo is the person's going to be recalled and returned the most. He's been recalled now twice in 4 days, so he's going to be the team yo-yo this year. I know somebody came up to me and said, "Oh, do you think they're showcasing Luke Adams?" I can tell you right now, the Sabres are not going to trade Luke Adams. The Sabres, if they're going to trade anybody, I would hope it would be Tim Connolly. Trade him off at the trade deadline as a rental player. Get some picks for him. Get him off this team. Much like we had to get a Finneganov off this team, we just couldn't. Finneganov was untradeable, and Tim Connolly is almost untradeable with his 4-5. That'd make $1 million a year. I'll have a video series coming up on what I would do as a Sabres GM. I think I would do pretty well. In fact, that's what career path I want to choose. Anyway, let's take a look at the upcoming schedule. Next week, the Sabres play 3 games, all against the Northeast Division. Wednesday, November 3rd, home versus Boston. I don't know. That's a tough one. Boston's looked pretty good this year. They're 6-2. Okay, they're a +13 in goals. Buffalo is -12, I think. It's gonna be one of those games like last year, or the game we saw earlier against the Devils. You have 2 highly defensive teams going up against each other, but this year, I guess Boston's found their scoring. I don't know where they found it, but they found scoring. Last year, I believe In the regular season, it might have been close to a split. I think maybe Boston 4-2 or in games, and obviously in the playoffs, 4-2 Boston in the series, and the power play just didn't show up there for Buffalo, but that's beside the point. Honestly, in this game, making a pick, I think Sabres lose 3-1. I think Ryan Miller will come out and stand on his head. Tim Thomas at the other end, who has been spectacular. Absolutely spectacular for Boston this year. I mean, last year he had a down year. This year he looks amazing. Tuukka Rask is having the year that Tim Thomas had last year. Tim Thomas has been outstanding. And so far, Tim Thomas has been doing better than Miller. And Boston can score goals. They score on the power play, and they kill penalties. I mean, they are a very good defensive team, and obviously this year they're a very good offensive team. They were at the bottom of the division. Now I think they're right behind Montreal. So once again, I think the Sabres lose to Boston on Wednesday, 3-1. That would make them 0-5-1 at home. Friday, November 5th, 7:30 p.m., home versus Montreal. Montreal's looked pretty good lately. I think they lost their last game. They're right around even at goal differential. I think they're 7-3-1. Last year, Buffalo did really well against Montreal. I believe they were 5-1 versus Montreal last year. I know they had a really good year against Montreal, as they did with Toronto. But again, the Sabres have played Montreal this year, and they lost. This is another home contest. I'm not feeling good about this one either, but I think it's closer. I think the Sabres lose this game 4-3 in overtime or the shootout. Buffalo just can't score. It's another thing. They just can't score. Montreal is a wonderful power play team. The Sabres take way too many dumb penalties, rather. And Montreal is just so good on the power play. They were last year. They're always perennially good on the power play. So, I'm giving that game to Montreal 4-3 in overtime. That would make the Sabres 0-5-2 at home. No wins at home so far. And Saturday, November 6th, 7 p.m. at the Maple Leafs. The Sabres absolutely owned the Maple Leafs last year, 6-0. They ran the table against Toronto. I don't think they had a loss. Trying to recall, I'm pretty sure they went 6-0. Correct me in a comment if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they went 6-0 last year against Toronto. Toronto this year started out really hot. They're on a bit of a cold streak. They started off, I believe, like 4-0, and after going 4-0 in their last 6 games, Toronto is 1-4-1, and I know they've lost the last 2. So Toronto's a little bit on the ropes. That's another tough game to pick. They're all divisional games. It's just so difficult. Toronto has looked decent. Their scoring, I think, is exactly even. 5-4-1 record through 10 games. Buffalo's 3-7-2 through 12. Minus 12 scoring against an even team scoring? I don't know. But this is a really tough pick. But I'm going to say Sabres 4-1. I think since Buffalo has had a really good history post-lockout versus Toronto, that saying we're talking about Toronto with somewhat weaker teams. They aren't exactly as weak as in previous years. I think they're a bit better than last year. However, I just don't. They started out hot, 4-0, just perfect. It's flash in the pan. I called it right away. I'm like, oh, this Toronto team's not going to last. No, it didn't last. 1-4-1 in their last 6. I'm saying Buffalo 4-1 in that game, which would make them 4-3-1 on the road. So there you have it, folks. There's the 3 picks of the week. Wednesday, November 3rd, home versus Boston at 7 p.m. I'm saying Sabres lose 3-1. Friday, November 5th, 7:30 p.m., home versus Montreal. I'm saying the Sabres lose 4-3 in overtime or the shootout. And Saturday, November 6th, 7 p.m., versus Toronto. I'm saying the Sabres win 4-1. That would make, after this week, the Sabres would have a record of, let's see if they're 3-7-2 now. That would make them, they would go 1-1-1 this week, which would make the Sabres 4-8-3 through 15 games, which is still bad. So, thanks for watching. I'm not going to say anything else. I think I'd just say thanks for watching. Yeah, just thanks a lot for watching. I'm going to try and do this every week, and hopefully you all enjoy it. And like I said, I have a video series about me being a GM. I don't know when I'm going to start or when I'm going to do that. I'm also a very big video gamer, PlayStation 3. So I'll be talking a little bit about that, especially about the Call of Duty series. That's my main play. You're going to see a lot of Black Ops vids coming up eventually. So thanks for watching. Have a good one.